Boy, y'all know y'all our Snapchat queen and AI chatbot friends. And y'all know I got a story to tell. So y'all know I'm in Greenville and we at war. I don't own the rights to this video or audio, but we're going to take a listen at WITN.com. Our news station down here talk about them being prepared to hold a protest against ICE, right? Now, mind you, they talked about defunding our police and praying for our police a couple of years ago. Hold on, let me pull these receipts, family. So, we're going to back it up to them talking about praying for our police on the same news station, right? And this was 2020, March of 2020, right? When they talked about praying for Greenville, North Carolina police while they was down here going to war with the police. Now, this was the church, the religious leaders saying, pray for the police, right? Fast forward 2025, they're now protesting against ICE raids, right? ICE will be homeland security for the people like me in the city who is seeking safety from people who moved here, right? To terrorize the city. So why would they be in our city talking about protest against ICE raid if they're not terrorists who have taken over the city? So let's listen to a little bit of this audio. Let's hear what they got to say. Oh, hold on. My fault, y'all. My fault. I'm doing too much. Hold on.
At Hardy, Massey, and Blodgett, our lawyers have over...
Now, I don't own that video that they played, and that would what be called cyberbullying. That would be them using the law offices down here to attack the Americans, right? So you got to pay attention to the ads that keep coming across our screens, right? That's harassing them, tearing up my vehicles, right? Using insurance fraud, right? That'll be them putting me out of my house using the law, the lawyers, the judge, right? That will be them covering up medical records, using the law firms and the hospitals and the doctors. So we're going to listen to a little bit of that dialogue as they down here screaming. They running and need protection because ICE is getting ready to shut down their operation down here. Now, mind you, these people that just came on the commercial don't look like me, not from here, but they doing real good in our jobs. So we don't understand why they get ready to have this protest when they living better than the local people. Let's listen, family. I don't own the rights to this audio on WITN News, but this is what's going on in Greenville as the immigrants and the gang unit has come down here, coded our city out, and put us out and following us around with all this radiation. Let's listen to how they doing so good outside acting like they not. Now, this is them protesting ICE coming to protect the local community from them being outside trying to take over territory with this land grab. This is a land grab move all day. Now, mind you, this is November the 19th, 2025, right? That was yesterday. Today is November the 20th, 2025. This is yesterday with them protesting. If y'all go watch my videos, y'all will see that they got us down here surrounded while they out here in Charlotte and Raleigh and now in Greenville protesting about us being inside of our housing, us getting our benefits and what we're entitled to from being American. Let's listen to how they done came in Greenville down here where I'm at and got so bold that they want to protest the people that's protecting us and them. They skipped Thanksgiving down here. They already putting up Christmas lights.
In the state, protests are emerging here in the East as concerns about immigration enforcement are growing.
Let me back them up.
Tonight, as immigration raids intensify in the state, protests are emerging here in the East as concerns about enforcement are growing. And tonight, a group of residents rallied in Greenville to speak out against any future action. Charlene Richards spoke to demonstrators at the protest, and she's live now in the studio with more. Charlene?
Now, before she starts, I'm going to break down these codes, right? You see, she has on the earrings. She's got the lipstick on, and she's coded right here with the beast mark, right? And then she has her one knuckle up. That means they want to fight. They at war. Now, down here, we have the immigrants who moved in around the local community, built up around the local community. Now, this is a war against these people who move here, against us people, the local people, who was ICE. Now, these two people are coming together against us, the local people, to fight ICE, right? Which is Homeland Security, Customs, and Immigration, because they came over here to outbreed the local community. Now they set up camp around us. Now they outside don't want ICE to come because they are terrorists who moved into Greenville through NC Civil. And I guarantee you can link all of them to NC Civil, right? And that college, East Carolina University, and all those organizations and sororities that came in to the local community. Let's listen to what they got to say, though. Because you see the watch right here shining, right? That means it's time. That's them coding in the signs, right? You got to see the codes. World War III, right? 1, 2, 3. That's them at full live war using our services. This them broadcasting to each other. See how she got the part in her hair? Black and brown, right? It has nothing to do with the local community. This is them moving in through our colleges, working into the jobs and coding with each other, now going to war with each other over a land grab. Let's listen to them. Now you see the code, World War III. Pay attention to that. World War III, right?
Dave, tonight's demonstrators against immigration raids happening in other cities across the state marched from Greenville's Town Common to the Pitt County Courthouse to protest what they say is the unlawful detainment of people with no criminal backgrounds.
Now, mind you, she said they marched to the courthouse, right? To protest against people being detained for unlawful. Hold on, let her wind the back. Let her wind the back. I want to get her words correct.
Courthouse to protest what they say is the unlawful detainment of people with no criminal background.
Unlawful detainment of people with no criminal background. Now, she not even listening to herself. Because if they over here and they not on paperwork the way they should be, baby, they breaking the law anyway. They broke the law to be here. It's just like my homegirl who brought her whole family over here under a school visa. And they getting food stamps, Section 8 housing, and jobs and everything else over me and my daughter, baby. So how is it that it's an unlawful detainment if they over here against the law anyway, baby? You can't justify you breaking the law because you ain't broke one of the American laws to justify you not breaking the law. Because if I break the law, I'm going to jail. I got videos of them locking my black ass up with my family right there, not caring, even though I was innocent. So why will we Americans watch y'all fight our Homeland Security where y'all done came in and got our government and law offices locked down with your people working in there? Now you're fighting outside in Greenville, acting like it's a problem when y'all are the problem outside fighting yourselves. And then you're tearing up the local community at the same time by putting us out and following us around with all this radiation and technology y'all got outside. But let's continue to listen to Sister Girl. Because, see, this is what they're using with that federal government and that money. Y'all got to pay attention to how all this is dealing with them using our birth certificate and social security cards to replace us, following that federal dollar, these federal programs, entitlement programs. that the mayor bought in through the housing, job, and health care with the immigrants, saying that they built America. As if we wasn't here already building it before they got here. Gotta listen to how they talking. This is about them switching over death certificates at that funeral home to replace the local people. This is about that federal dollar. This is why PJ don't realize, baby, when you bought these people here under your entitlement program, they're fighting against the police. They're fighting against ICE from raiding them from being a terrorist organization who came down here in North Carolina, which is not an asylum state, trying to use asylum laws. And this is why we're not an asylum state, because they try to come in and use our law against us. Let's continue to listen.
They say as raids begin in Raleigh and other areas, they're urging leaders to protect the community.
Now, why would they be urging the leaders to protect them against Homeland Security, making sure that they're over here the right way? Let's say it again. Why would they need protection to see if they're over here the right way? Because that's all immigration is doing, baby. Let me check your paperwork. Let me make sure that you're not a criminal over here doing criminal activity. What is the problem with that, right? Then you have hate here. What does hate have to do with ICE checking your documents to make sure you're not a criminal pushing these fentanyl and drugs out here in our streets, baby? I mean, we got to ask a question, because y'all protesting like you're over here in Greenville suffering when y'all doing better than the local folks outside. Y'all is living and built y'all communities way better than the local people outside. The infrastructure money that was supposed to be building the local community, y'all took that money, tore the trees down outside and built y'all stuff around us. And you're talking about hate on a sign where y'all only hate is the local people. That's why you're hating the fact that ICE is coming to check y'all paperwork and wanting to know where all of y'all people come from in North Carolina. That's all of a sudden Democrats. Because this is not y'all trying to bomb rush the city, or is it as politics? Huh? Is this y'all trying to turn North Carolina black Democrat? Because the Democrats like me decided that we wanted to be Republicans because we seen y'all coming over here trying to take our land, infiltrating our Democrat Party, where we supposed to be building America, not tearing it down, for y'all to come over here and steal our stuff? Could that be the problem? I mean, let's see. Let's keep listening to what she got to say, because y'all outside acting like y'all in Greenville doing bad when y'all doing way better than the local folk. I want to know how you supposed to be doing better than the elder people that's here, that's been here for years. Y'all just got here and doing better than them. How? A girl gonna tell me I can't afford to live over there in Star Hill Farm and I'm from here. I got a problem with that, because, baby, my first job was with Bill Gates, baby, so I've been working just as long as you've been working. So what entitles you to tell me I can't afford to stay somewhere and you can? And you not even American or from Greenville. And then go have the police tell me I had to leave the neighborhood. I couldn't be over there looking for a house. Why? This is why ICE jumping down, because when y'all telling the local folk we can't go and look for a house, we got to be outside with y'all circling us while you're up here on this news station with your children, your whole family over here the wrong way. Mad because they checking your paperwork and wanting to know how the local folks outside and y'all doing better than the local folks off infrastructure money. Let's keep listening, fam. Look, y'all know you got to break that dialogue down and look at reality around us and what I'm showing y'all on this page and what they outside marching for. Pay attention, family. We at war. This is them classical war with their families. Coding. That's why this is a silent war. They don't speak English. They coding with clothes and signs. Teeth, glasses, hats, clothes, babies, right? They coding. This has always been a war. That's why I keep telling y'all, baby, I've been fighting these people ever since I was 4 years old just to be collateral. My daughter been having to fight these people ever since she was born just to be her. Now, anytime these immigrants got my house tracked down this bad way, I'm following track marks around the city to me and my daughter, I got a problem with that. Especially when you up here hollering about you need some protection and holding protests against Homeland Security that's making sure that me and my child ain't being tracked down by y'all immigrants in this city acting like y'all protesting for help and y'all got the city hostage. Now we're going to continue to break this video down, family, and look at them. Because you got to pay attention to the codes. Their Homeland Security job is to take their ass away, not let them keep protesting being wrong. Especially when you came in through war this way. They don't want to fight us physically. They want to fight us with the law. They only learn loophole laws. They never learn our dialogue. That's why they got all these schools here to teach them a different language and sign language. They've been coding my daughter out through these school systems without me knowing she was coded, but I knew because I was watching. I know the codes because I'm from these streets and I understand street war is different than the law war where they reading them books and stuff and acting as lawyers. Because anytime this girl can get up here on my page and quote the law harder than the law, and she ain't from here, that's a problem. Now, anytime she can quote more laws than the damn law can, she already got set in her brain how to get around with the loophole law. She know the police schedule better than the police do. She know when to jump out, people supposed to jump out, what time they moving and everything. How? Unless somebody is in their office coding you before it go down. Just like these fake protests that they got in our city. That's them begging for federal dollar while they going to war with the community. You don't see no black folks out there like that that look like me. These are all Mexican, Hispanics, Venezuelans, and Africans, Jamaicans, all them folk that came over here. The ones that look like me, they not going to be out here protesting. They on a whole different protest. You got to think that you operating with a body, right? And there's many members to this one body. This is another part of this body that's operating in these gang units here in Greenville, North Carolina, fam. This is how they human trafficking people around. They did me and my daughter like this in the shelter in Charlotte. Moved us from the shelter to a SHIP program. Where they move you from a SHIP program back to a shelter. Right? So it's shelter to a SHIP program, shelter to a program. Where they can make $1 off federal government saying you need something. Like right now they making more money off this scandal with the drugs, right? So you got the drug cartel down here, right? Not only are they making the drug money from the streets, they set up all these drug classes where now they got the drug addicts going to class, giving them a gift card where they can sell them the drugs in the class. So now you making money from having a non-profit business cleaning them up while you giving them the drug while they inside the class and then gonna give them a gift card to go sell the gift card to bring the money back to you. Now, when you're trying to put me in a drug program knowing damn well I'm not on drugs, so that you can circle around $1 in the city while y'all hollering, no ICE, baby, that's a problem. That means y'all done got too comfortable being in our jobs going to war with us, that you don't see yourself. That means y'all done got too comfortable with going to war that you don't see yourself. Let's listen to them. Because you notice they got the little children out there. They got the babies outside. Then she got the buds in the ear, the earbuds, because they listen to somebody on their earbud tell them what to do. They don't speak English. They never learn the language. They only learn our money. How to penny pinch us and jack the prices up around us when we at the store. How to get on that digital thing and steal your money off the digital wallet. It's so many of them boxes around here in Greenville, it's a shame. Then when they inside of the grocery store messing with your money, when you swipe your card, they pushing buttons to reverse money to their card. It's a problem. Especially when they sit in these projects right here and that's all they training themselves and their kids to do is to learn how to sit on those gadgets and steal. That's all they doing here. Learning how to train their kids to steal. It's more kids out of school than a little bit around here. And that's why I got a problem with these school systems. Because how is it I'm outside during the day and there's more kids walking around me coding than a little bit when they supposed to be in school during school hours? Right? These are things we got to pay attention to. When our city grew this fast through this college, these are the people who moved in on us and circled us around when you thinking they was going home for school. They was in the background in those woods using that infrastructure money that was coming here to build around us. Let's continue to listen, family.
Protests were held in Greenville Wednesday, with residents holding signs and chanting against recent immigration raids.
I've been a part of the Hispanic community my whole life, and they're very, very important to me. My children are Hispanic, and
now, mind you, she said she been part of the Hispanic community for a long time, and her family's Hispanic, right? That mean they not from this country, baby. They don't hear themselves. Now, mind you, you got to pay attention that she's downtown at the town commons, where this is where I told y'all they started putting memorials up, going to war with the Americans back then, coding the city out. This is her saying that now they get ready to take over through the Mexican cartel. They're already using our waterways to get it up out of here and move it back and forth through the waterways and these trains and these cars. That's why they got all these car accidents outside. Staging car accidents to stuff them with drugs. Staging the bicycles and the furniture to stuff them with drugs and money. Same code, same niggas moving. Now she out here giving codes to everybody else to let them know that a shipment came in. That's why she's standing by there at the dock on the news report. Because they got that whole area blocked off. Pay attention to these codes. This is war that they're using against us, trying to historic America. Now, mind you, if you go downtown in that same area she in, they got a thing down there talking about a federal takeover. That's them using the federal government to take over the land, to do a land grab using the federal government, knowing they're not American. This is what we got to pay attention to with these people, because like I said, they only learned American law to steal the land. They did not learn our law to come over here to participate as family value with us as they portraying up here that they're family. It's a lot of men walking around, me and my daughter, pulling their winger-wingers out like it ain't nothing. That's a problem. These men are not from around here. We got a lot of women and children following us as well. Coding the same way. That's a problem with her being on this news talking about she from Mexican and in the Mexican community, and they not even American. She not even hearing how she's not even from this country. That is war, family. This is war tactics they're using to code with the law and the news now.
Fear that I'm seeing in my community, the fear that I'm seeing of people that are legally here, it's just outrageous.
Now, why would she feel fear if she comforted her home with a job and everything she need, and we the Americans is outside with them putting us out? Now, why would she get up here and say the fear? What, she's afraid that they're going to find out that they're not American, they don't belong in this country, and they went to war on us and have the Americans outside? Is that her fear? That Coletta and Precious is going to be in the house? Is that her fear that we're going to be rightfully where we supposed to be and she going to be back in her country? Is that her fear? Because they don't look like they in distress in our community. Y'all see these videos. I showed you how they building these big apartment complexes up, packing them in as fast as they can. I show you how on these videos they tearing our vehicles up while they riding around in brand new vehicles. You can hear how they got my mama fan over here real loud to keep track of how the Americans is in their house. Even if I go and look at this window down here, they got my daughter window where she lay her head at, Mark. So if somebody want to stand out here and be a sniper, they can stand outside the window and shoot. These are codes you got to pay attention to. Now, pay attention to how they got these marks on our walls. And this is what I'm saying. Anytime they done went through the city and coded the Americans out this bad, you got our houses marked and coded, it's a problem. While you sitting up here talking about you living in fear, baby. How you living in fear when you came over here as a terrorist organization, well organized, to code out the Americans, to put us out, to act like you scared? What you scared of, baby? Let's listen to them, family.
Protesters say concerns are growing after recent ICE activity in cities such as Raleigh and Charlotte.
The Bible, she got that one up while she talking.
Fearing communities in eastern North Carolina may be next.
That one means she want to fight. We all know that from the street.
Raleigh and Charlotte.
You see that one up?
Communities are growing after recent ICE activity.
That right there, when they talking, mean fight. They want to fight. Then they stand in front of the police department. No entrance. That means no police because they took over the police already, right? That was them defunding the police and praying for the religious leaders, right? Because the housing program where they in, where she in, that came under them different documents, right, is a different department than that police department she's standing in declaring war on. Code and saying she want to fight with her one and gun up, talking shit. Mind you, she's talking with a phone. So either she's reading from somebody telling her what to say because she don't speak English. They don't understand our dialogue. Right? She has a safety vest on. That means she's safe because somebody's protecting her. We also got blue here. That's the new blue that they bought in North Carolina with this new blue stuff they got flying around us. Talking about they the new Democrats. But they're not Americans. This is why they bum rushed North Carolina to switch over the party voting things. We all know politics and how politics work. There's no way in hell Green will grew this fast with them circling us and coding us out as if we dumb, stupid, retarded, and slow while she up here acting like she a victim. While she up here acting like she the victim, right? They in such distress. But if you ride around the city, you don't see them in distress. You see them having a good time, partying and bullshitting like it's a normal day. They riding around like it's a normal day outside. So how was she up here protesting? What are they protesting about? Let's listen, fam.
In cities such as Raleigh and Charlotte, fearing communities in eastern North Carolina may be.
Now what if say families belong together? Now I told the police they kidnapped my child in 2003 and they want to lock me up because I'm telling them that they following me around. They stole the baby, walked away. Now they come back in gang units like this to circle and code out us while they stealing babies for death certificates, birth certificates, and funeral home money. Right? Stillborn mean they stealing the baby at birth, working at these hospitals. Right? Stillborn mean they stole your baby at birth when it was born and went somewhere across that water with it. Now they over here fighting because they feel like they entitled with that passport. Birthright citizenship is what they fighting for. That's why they got their kids up here. Their mission was to come and have a baby in America and have one in Mexico and everywhere, and so they could travel around. This is how the AIDS is spreading so fast. This is why our city went from 40,000 people in this city alone that's not reporting that they got AIDS and HIV out here And it's spreading this quick because they over here on this birthright citizenship to have a baby to be a billionaire mindset. Now, I've been here long enough to know how these females been operating in Greenville. Whoever have a baby, they used to have train parties where they were sleeping with every man that come in there, and it didn't matter as long as he was an American and they could have a baby by him. They still doing it. They don't want to go back to their country. They want to stay in America and live a lavish lifestyle and act like they suffering and act like they slaves. This is a problem. This is something we got to deal with and talk about. Especially when their mission is to come down here and have a baby to be in this country. Not to be a family, but for money. It's not about the child, it's about money. It's never about the children. It's about them making money using the kids. Because anytime you can stuff a child with some money and some diamonds in their shit, it's a problem. That means you don't care about that child. Anytime you got a foster care program set up around and people making money off them being in foster care, them being with their parents is a problem. Because you only setting up systems to use those kids for money. That's why I say nowhere in hell I care more about these people cheering than they do, because the only thing they care about is passing the money around. Passing drugs around. They already gave themselves to death through AIDS. That's why we call them walking zombies outside. Suicide bombers is what we call them, because they walking around death anyway. They dead anyway. So their mindset is they don't care. Drugs, money, and sex. That's it. The children is a bag even at the tax office. Think about how much money they making off taxes from these kids. Look at how much tax money off the kids they making alone. This is why they at the courthouse. Do the knowledge, family. Do the knowledge. Let's listen a little bit more, y'all. Let's listen a little bit more.
Next.
I know that my families are afraid to go out. My friends are afraid to send their kids to school.
Now, you heard how she said that they afraid to go out and afraid to send their kids to school. Now, we all know that in Greenville, that's a lie. They out more than the local community. The local community look like this, y'all. And I'm outside in the hood at nighttime. This how quiet the hood is. And she told me they afraid to go out. Now, y'all go pull them tower cams, because y'all can pull them tower cams and y'all can see how much traffic is moving around that college in them Hispanic areas and how they moving better than the local community. And she up here lying hard as she can, talking about they afraid to go out. How? She talking about they afraid to go out when they got us surrounded. Y'all got to listen to the hypocrisy in this. The gaslighting or whatever they want to call it, the bullshit is what we call it. That lady don't look a little bit distressed at all. Don't look like she missed a meal, no bath, or none of that. Look like she even got money to keep her nails done. Right? She got her overalls on. We all know what overall mean. That money in the background. That's that shipment coming in. Now, she acting like they in stress and fear. For what? Because ICE want to check their paperwork to see if they hear the right way or not. Has nothing to do with their living situations, because they living better than the local folk. So we don't understand what they in fear of when they came and took infrastructure money and built their communities and tribed out around the local communities and decided to follow us around and use jobs to harass us and cold out our houses. Let's listen to her talk about some more fear.
We are seeing people getting picked up in the pickup lines out of Raleigh and Charlotte, and we're just hearing.
Now, mind you, she said they seeing people getting picked up in the pickup line in Raleigh and Charlotte. Not here in Greenville, because we don't see them getting picked up in Greenville. We see them running to Greenville for a safety net, because this is where the web starts at that college. This is where they branching out from, through them colleges and through these NC Civil programs. This is the center of that boat. This is one of their Mayflower boats. Rose High, the high school, is one of their lead schools. right? That track them out. D.H. Conley is another lead school. Now they got Southwest, Northwest, right? Where they came in and built schools in the country. So they don't have to come out and breed and learn with our kids. They're teaching their own self different laws. They have different books than our kids. They've got books where they teaching their kids how to be a zillionaire. Have y'all seen any of those books at y'all house in y'all kids' book bags? Tell me, leave it in the comments below. But they're teaching kids how to travel and about different types of food and different types of culture and how to get there using passports. Are y'all aware of this with your kids? Are you aware of the nonverbal communication that they're using with your kids? Like she keep throwing this one and this L up. That means fight all day. Then she also showing the baby it's a gold shipment coming through. That's why she got that flat plate on. Now, I went down to the college to see if they had some stuff for me to make a nameplate, right? Because I took jewelry class, so I understand the process of turning that gold into a plate. The whole process, cutting it out, the chemicals and the burn and all that, right? They only had 2 sheets. And no gold, right? But she clearly got it on her arm here. So that's how they moving the gold out. Through the UBE bookstores, through the U-Hauls, and through this waterway. Through the trains, and in these cars, using their kids. This is war, family. War tactics. How would you want to take America down without fighting her? Infiltration on the inside, using jobs and codes. Dialogue. You wouldn't need to know the American language if you're speaking in code all around you. See how she got her ears pushed back? Her hair pushed back with her ear? That's a code for them. That's sign language. I hear, right? I'm your ears. I'm listening out for the shipment. Light poles, another one of their street codes where they code each other when they moving around to know where the locations of their shipping and their drops is, right across from the post office. She right across from the post office. Let's keep listening to this fear they got in them.
So much from the community of fear, panic.
Demonstrators say they're urging local leaders to oppose any future action. Governor Josh Stein, regarding raids in Charlotte, called on federal agents to, quote, target violent criminals and not, quote, people simply going about their lives because of.
So now you have the governor saying, forget them terrorizing the local people, whether they came over here against the law or not. Let them continue to live their life, long as they're not violent criminals. Now, we got a problem with that because, of course, they're not going to be violent criminals when they're using poison to poison you and street codes to code you. They're using jobs, right, to follow you around. So, of course, they're not going to be violent because that will bring too much attention to them. Right? So, again, what would be the best way to take America down if it's not on the inside, using the governor now to cover you, right? Well, we're going to keep you here even though you ain't here the right way. Long as you're not out here committing a violent crime, it's okay. So poison them, infiltrate their community, get into their jobs, make sure they don't have anything until you kill them off one by one, right? And we'll just cover it up using your governmental offices. Listen to how he's talking. Because they broke the law by being here. Now, as an American, if I break the law, I'm going to jail. I'm going to be punished. So why wouldn't they be punished by being here illegally? Whether they violent criminal or not. You broke the law by being here illegally. You can't justify that. And if you're a governor trying to justify that, then your ass need to be in jail for treason. That's when the law worked to you as a treason. Because now you're allowing someone to infiltrate our country, Based off you saying they not violent criminals, but they over here committing criminal crimes by poisoning us and bringing fentanyl into our community. So how much money are you getting paid off of this infiltration? Who is paying your pockets in the background for you to allow them to continue this drug reign on the local communities? What protection are you offering the local community as the governor? Where is your duty of care to the Americans, or is your duty of care to the immigrants? Let's listen, family.
The color of their skin, end quote. And according to the Department of Homeland Security in a statement released today, more than 250 people have been arrested in Charlotte alone. Dave?
Now, mind you, all they talking about is the number of people that's been arrested. And you see how her face look as their energy goes, as they're talking about how many people being arrested. Their body language is sunken, right? But as they're talking about not being raided and getting away with the law, right? Getting away with breaking the law, their whole energy is something totally different. We got to pay attention to this. I don't own the rights to this audio video, but this is just something you got to pay attention to. I'm going to put this link down here for y'all family, for y'all to go through and listen and make your own analysis of what's going on in America and how they're trying to take us down using our governmental offices and our jobs. It was called that DEI program, DIE, or whatever they want to call it. Either way, it was death of America through jobs, through our politics and infrastructure on the inside. I'll be back, family. I'll be back.